I haven't even finished applying and visiting schools, but I think my totals have added up to over $300 just of transcripts and pre-exams and everything. Hey y'all, what's up? So today I'm coming at you with another nursing video. Today we're going to be talking about BSN school applications and RN school applications and basically just applying to get into a nursing program. As you guys may or may not know, I am currently in the application process for about 8 different colleges, looking at both BSN and RN schools in basically anywhere in New York State. I'm trying to go to a state school because I don't want more private school loans, but at this point I'm really just going to go anywhere that'll let me in. So today I have some tips for you on applications and basically just how to organize your life for applications. So my first big tip is to do a ton of research on the schools. I know it may seem like obvious, but at the same time I think a lot of people just kind of see, oh, they have a nursing program, let me apply. Well, are you applying to a school that's accredited? What's their NCLEX pass rate? What's their graduation rate? All kinds of things like that. Where do they do clinicals? How many clinicals do they do? Because yes, there are standards for these things, but it's also good to know you kind of want a school that goes a little bit above and beyond, you know? But more so, it's good to know if you're getting into a program, are you going to pass your NCLEX? Because that's really what it's all about. It really doesn't matter like anything else. You need to get good grades, especially if you want to go for your master's, but nothing else really matters. It just matters if you pass your NCLEX. That being said, number 2 also goes along with research. So number 2, make sure when you're doing your research that you write down all of the application deadlines. So there's going to be 2 big deadlines you need to look at. The first one is when the nursing application is due. And the second one is the nursing application separate from applying to the school, and do you have to be accepted to the school already? If the answer to that is yes, you need to make sure you apply about 3 months before the nursing application is due. So this is a big rule that really I forgot about when I was applying, and it kind of screwed my application process because there were a bunch of schools that I couldn't apply to. So make sure you know those big dates so that you don't end up like me. Alright, number 3. When you're researching your schools, some schools have crazy guidelines. Make sure you read all of them. So one of the schools I went to apply to was Brockport. It's just like a SUNY school right near Rochester. And the rule, one of their big rules is that you have to have taken 15 credits there before you can even apply to the nursing program. Personally, I think that's ridiculous, but that's besides the point. It basically took me out of the running to apply there, and I decided that I wasn't even going to bother applying there because it was a $50 application fee plus the fee to send transcripts, and I wasn't about that. So make sure you look at every single little rule for applications. Some of the schools also have very strict deadlines about, like, you can only have retaken classes once. If you've had to retake a class more than once, don't bother applying. As awful as that sounds, applying to schools is really expensive. If you know there's like prerequisites that you don't meet as far as like how many times you've taken a class or having taken credits there or anything like that, I genuinely would suggest you do not apply unless the application is free and sending your transcripts is free, because it is so expensive. To go along with that cost is tip number 4. So number 4 is make sure you save up some extra money to apply to schools. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but when I was applying so I originally was going to apply to go to school in the spring, but I literally could not afford my transcripts because one of my accounts had a hold on it and I couldn't pay the hold until like the day before applications were due. And by then it was just too late for me to apply and too late for me to go through all of that. So that's another thing to think about, is just make sure you have the money to pay for your transcripts and your applications. And if you have to take any nursing exams, anything like that, you want to make sure you have some money saved up, or get a second job so that you have enough money to pay for those things, because they seem like little things. It's $10 here, $15 there, but it adds up really quickly. I haven't even finished applying and visiting schools, but I think my totals have added up to over $300 just of transcripts and pre-exams and everything to go to colleges and application fees. At least $300, maybe more. Definitely more because of the hold on my account, but we're not talking about that. We're just talking about applications alone. So definitely make sure you save up some money for that. Tip number 5, make sure you know if you have to take any exams to get into colleges. So there are a few big exams, the HESI, HSIE, let me look it up. Alright, so there are a few big exams, the HESI exam, the TEAS, and then the Kaplan Nursing Entrance Exam. So, I've taken the TEAS, and I have to take the Kaplan one. I have not taken the HESI, and I don't plan on it at this point, but if I do, I'll update you guys. So basically the biggest thing for entrance exams is make sure you know what's on the exam. So I go into this further on my TEAS review video, which you guys can watch up here. And I'll also be making a Kaplan Nursing Entrance Exam, what to expect kind of video after I take it this weekend. So I will link that up here as well once I've made the video. But yeah, the biggest thing is know what to expect and study the areas where you think you're going to struggle. So number 6, so talk to some students who are nursing students at that program or who have graduated from that program and see how they feel about it. So this is especially easy if you work in healthcare and you're applying to schools in your local area. But honestly, you can go on Instagram and like search the hashtag like Monroe Community College Nursing, or search for like the departments, and you can find people and DM them. I know it sounds super creepy, but it's important to know what you're getting yourself into. So whenever I talk to someone about their nursing school experience, I ask them, would you go there again? What were the biggest things would you go there again if you had to do it all over again? Some tips for surviving the program and what you would do differently while you were in that nursing program. I also tend to ask about like professors and clinicals if that person is in the program currently, but if they're not, things change so quickly in programs that there's really no point in asking them about it. But yeah, bring out that FBI stalking that you use on your best friend's ex and find a bitch in the class and DM them. It's super creepy, but just do it. So number 7, and this one's kind of big depending on what kind of college experience you want, is look into the on-campus life, how campus life is, you know, the dorm situation, all of that. Is that a way you should be picking your program? No. If you're in your mid-20s, are you going to care? No. But I must say, if you are a sophomore looking to transfer into a nursing program and you've literally just gone straight from high school to college, like basically if you're 20, 19, 20, even 21, these are important to look into because it's going to be your whole life is campus. You're not going to work a full-time job. You're not going to do any of that like myself or a lot of my colleagues are doing as they go back to school. You're going to care about, do they have this club that I'm interested in, or do they have that, or can I get a work study there, things like that. How's campus life? Am I going to have to live with someone? Do I have to get a meal plan? All of that kind of stuff. So while it's not the top of the list, it is another important thing to look into when you're looking at nursing schools. Number 8, this one goes into applications. So when you do your application, make sure it's really good. For your essay, make sure you read it multiple times, have someone else read it, all that kind of stuff that they tell you when you're applying to colleges. Another big thing to go along with your application is if you've had any experience in healthcare, really highlight that. So like for me, I'm an LPN now, so it's a little bit different when I'm going back to school because they know I have healthcare experience and they know I can be a nurse. But if you're not in that same position, say you volunteered at a nursing home, or you're a volunteer EMT, or you work as a patient care tech somewhere, or a CNA, make sure you highlight those kinds of things because that's really what they want to see. Another important thing, if you've done anything like this, is if you've ever shadowed, talk about that at some point in your application or in your interview or whatever, and be like, say you shadowed, so I shadowed in the OR and LPN school, so say you shadowed there and you're like, so say that, be like, at my shadow I learned a lot about this and it inspired me to be a part of it, further inspired me to be part of the medical field and showed me why this is such an important career choice to me. Tip number 9, I guess, to go along with that, if you haven't had any of those experiences, go volunteer somewhere or go get some experience in the community, even if it's just for 4 or 5 months, once a week or once a month. Just go get some experience to show that you're genuinely interested because it really will help. So that could be literally anything. You could get a job as a transporter somewhere. You could volunteer at your local Ronald McDonald House. You could volunteer to read books in one of the nurseries or something. I don't know. There's so many volunteer options at hospitals, and if you're not already in health. It really does help, especially in that competitive pool of other 20-somethings who have done all their nursing prereqs. They all have like a 3.0 average. They all did okay on the exams. It really helps show that you are interested and you genuinely want to work in healthcare. So while it may seem time consuming, it's also really rewarding. Tip number 10, this is my last tip. Make sure nursing is really what you want to do. I know this may seem like weird for a video that talks about like nursing applications and stuff, but genuinely make sure nursing is the career you want to go into. I have a lot of friends who went to LPN school and they kind of are like, I don't even know if nursing is like what I want to do. I don't know if this is what I want to do, whatever. And that's fine, but don't go through your full 4 years of college going to school to become a nurse to find out that you don't want to be a nurse. So I have another friend who I work with and she's like, yeah, as much as I do love nursing and am glad it was the path I chose, for a long time I didn't feel that way, and I do wish I'd gone to LPN school first. So, and that's another thing to think about, is don't discount the LPN schools. If you're going to go to an LPN school, though, make sure it's accredited. It makes it so much easier for bachelor's applications. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope these tips were a little bit helpful to you. And if you have any more tips for nursing applications, feel free to leave them down below to help everyone out. As you all know, I have not yet gotten into a bachelor's or RM program, but I'm pretty sure I'll be in one by the fall. And I still have applied to a LPN school and gotten into it, one of the most competitive LPN schools in Rochester, actually the most. Anyways, I hope you guys like this video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I will see you guys next Sunday for another video. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.